top international player countdown, man. What's up with our guy Bill Laimbeer, man? He was awarded his second Coach of the Year on the WNBA side, man. But with some of these coaches who've had an opportunity the last couple years, these first-time players, these rookie coaches who were just players the season before, Kerr, Fish, J. Kidd. But here's a guy, one of our favorite bad boys, a Notre Dame guy, and he cannot get over to the NBA, man. What's going on here?
So first off, let me say that I actually watched a lot of those Detroit Shock teams through the early to, his run was I think 2000 to maybe 05.
That sounds about right.
As I think they won the championship in 04. I'm not saying that I don't think he's a good coach. I'm saying that those teams had a lot of talent.
They did. They were stacked.
Those teams were stacked. I think a lot of Bill Laimbeer's problem is probably resulting from being a bad boy. I think that he's made a lot of enemies in the league, and I think that the guys that he played ball with are now in positions of power or
MJ.
Yeah, I think he just got a lot of enemies, and got a lot of guys against him that have a say. And so, outside of seeing him on the bench in a couple of places, I don't know if he'll ever get a shot.
Now, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who I just mentioned, he hasn't been able to even get on the staff, from what I can surmise.
He was a quote-unquote special assistant for the Lakers for a period of time.
True.
But he was not on the bench.
True. So, I don't know, man. I think I'm of the opinion that Laimbeer would outdo a Leonard Hamilton, who MJ brought aboard.
A nobody.
On board.
A relative nobody.
A relative nobody at the pro level. Sometimes we are just a prisoner to who we were in the past, and it's unfortunate. I would think that possibly somebody like Popovich would have given him a chance years ago, but I mean, he has no affiliation with that organization, none whatsoever. But yeah, man, I'm like you. I don't think it's gonna happen for Bill.
Yeah. Breaking news. As we're recording this, I guess probably about 15 minutes ago, Tony Romo, broken collarbone.
Wow.
There goes one of my fantasy teams. Don't worry, I had Tony and Dez on the same team.
Wow, who's now out 10 to 12 weeks.
It's cool. No big deal. Just
wow, that's
fractured left collarbone.
Wow. What's the schedule? What's the projected time away? 6 to 8 weeks or something?
To be determined.
Wow, man, that's crazy. That's interesting because my team happens to play in the NFC East, and those are two NFC East teams. Did you get a victory? I mean, did you get a winner in that game?
Dallas is currently up. Looks like 20-9. I'm probably gonna lose that game. It's fine.
Okay, don't jump out the window just yet, man. Hey, international players. I told you earlier this week, Eurobasket. That's an interesting name for a league, but Euro. I guess they had. Well, they don't even. That's football and football. But top international players, man. Let's run down our top 5 of. And we really didn't lay a whole lot of groundwork for the criteria here, so you might have some. You probably do have some different names than me because my number 1 popped up at the last minute before I hit record on this. But top 5 international players, man. Who would you go with?
For number 5, I went with the Angry Aussie, Andrew Bogut. It's probably a surprise pick for a lot of people.
Including me.
Yeah. I like guys with attitude. And I'm always, even when he first came in with the Bucks, I liked how, as a rookie, he was willing to mix it up with guys. he'd get in your face, and I like guys that play on both sides of the ball. He's always been a defender. He's an underrated passer. And for his career, he's almost averaged double-double, 10.9, 9.2, 2 assists per game, with a block and a half. So I think Andrew Bogut's a real good guy.
It always it always bodes well for you when you have some jewelry, man. But when they had to pull him to play, to match up with Cleveland going smaller, that kind of hurt him for me, man. And then I do have a couple. I am a little longer in the tooth than yourself. So, like I said,
you'll be surprised.
Yeah, we have some differences here, man. My number 5 guy is actually going to be a guy who never even played in the NBA, but Brazil's Oscar Schmidt. Okay. I saw a 30 for 30 on him, and the guy averaged almost 40 points a game in the '88 Olympics. They won a gold medal. No, that's another dude. I'm gonna go with Oscar Schmidt, man. I mean, Kobe was very praised him a lot.
One of the guys he looked up to
as being the truth. So I'm gonna go with number 5, man. Is Oscar Schmidt, and he had that edge. He felt like he was all I need is a split second to get off a shot.
Yeah.
And he was just an international, a big name on the international scene. Who you got at number 4, man?
For number 4, I got Peja Stojakovic. I used to live in Sacramento. My first NBA experience was in the former Arco Arena, and that whole C-Webb, Peja, and Jason Williams, that team, that was my first exposure to professional basketball, and Peja let that thing go.
I think Peja was on track for a MVP candidacy until he got moved around, until things probably unfolded in Sacramento. I think he was really that guy.
Yeah, I mean, he during that span, 98 through 05, when they were making all those consecutive playoff appearances, he was the second leading scorer on the team behind Webb. 17 points per game, 40% from 3. And he's still involved. You can see him in Sacramento from time to time. I think Vladdy's brought him in as some sort of a mentor to the young guys.
I think we didn't realize how tall he was and to still be as effective as he was as a wing player. For my number 4, I'm going back a little bit further. I think Arvydas Sabonis, our bonus, your bonus, Chris Berman's old spin on that. But
that's my number 1.
You shouldn't have let the cat out the bag, man. That's bad podcast. Anyway,
same guy, man.
Okay, well, I can't edit that out, but oh well. But he came in the league at 31 years old, and the guy got a gold medal in the '88 Olympics against a USA team that consisted of David Robinson, Mitch Richmond, and Danny Manning, and he actually averaged 23 points a game in his rookie year in the playoffs. And I just feel like I just remember him laboring up and down the court. I just read earlier before we started that he had a torn Achilles, which probably happened years before we even had to deal with Achilles and the rehab of Achilles injuries. And had he been a smaller guy, a younger guy, and it would have been interesting to see what he would have done.
Yeah, I mean, he tore his Achilles twice.
Right. Good point.
And the greatest parts of his career were spent in Lithuania.
Exactly.
Overseas, playing for the Soviet teams. And
his son actually plays for, had a big March Madness run for Gonzaga.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
But, I could, look, what am I going to do? Talk about him after you talk about him? No, that was my number 1, so we'll just merge it all together now. Like, I did not really see early Sabonis, but I've seen the footage. I saw him when he was with the Jailblazers.
Okay.
But the guys that we look at today, a couple that I'll talk about in my other numbers, they looked up to this guy.
Right.
They patterned their game after him. The bigs who can pass the ball
Right.
looked up to Arvydas.
Shoot from 16, 18,
right.
knock down your free throws. I really always pull for athletes who are able to win in an unexpected manner versus the adversity that they, you know, and the odds that they encounter as they do their thing. Who you got at number 3, man?
I got Dirk at number 3.
A little low for me, but go ahead.
Dirk was my number 3. And I think it's just I'm probably the most familiar with his career. I've watched Dirk's entire body of work. I can't say that about everybody. Because when Pager came in the league, I was young and I wasn't really a huge NBA fan at the time. I just knew what I was watching. But yeah, all of the things that everybody says about the German, to be able to shoot it, to be able to particularly have a shot that others have tried to mimic and make their own, that lean, that fall back on one leg.
It's really became popular the last 3 years.
Yeah.
First we were just kind of laughing at him. That looks a little unorthodox.
Weird. Yeah.
And now, like you said, it's plenty of guards out here mimicking. Okay.
Kobe and KD.
Great point. They
both tried to adopt that shot. And so, yeah, and I also, we were kind of talking, I think Dirk is one of those guys who walks that line. He gets really pumped up for games, and then he knows how to bring it down some to do his interviews, but he still has some humor and a little bit of aggression to him at times, and I think he's good for the game.
Yeah, Dirk's been able to show that you didn't have to have that edge to you that we mentioned earlier, that you could kind of be a nice guy, but then exhibit that killer instinct on the court. And then I just remember, man, that year when they put out Miami, man, Dirk is one of the bigs that consistently hit nothing but net. I mean, on his 3-point shot.
You pull up some Dirk Nowitzki footage and listen to his shots.
Yeah, just nothing but net.
It's bottoms.
Right. And I also mentioned to you in probably our first or second Hoops and Hops that I caught that special with the guy that was that helps players become more efficient in basketball, and he clocked Dirk and tracked his shooting. And Dirk was a guy that averaged 25, around 25 points a game, and only really touched the ball for a minute and a half of every game. So that ratio right there of how much you touch the ball versus the points that you score per game, that's just outstanding. And he had the best ratio of any player. Totally handling the ball for less than 2 minutes, but averaging, 25 points. That's just beyond imaginable for me. Number 3 for me, man. And I got my list out of order a little bit. I would say that Manu Ginobili is probably my number 3, tied. And I'm not going to go into Manu because his accolades are obvious, but Drazen Petrovic is probably going to be my number 3 guy. Here's a guy that came in the league, and probably in his 3rd or 4th year, he averaged 20.6 a game with the Nets and 22.3 in 91 through 93. He left us early, but he averaged 24 points, or had 24 points, in the 92 Olympics versus the Dream Team.
He was a shooter.
Yeah, and that's it. I just remember him, not caring who was across the court from him, who was on the other side of the ball than him, and he just was relentless. He just seemed like that guy that was tireless, and he just could fill it up. So I think we got robbed of seeing how great he was. But we often talk about the Euro players not taking the lead and exhibiting that killer instinct. But I think Drazen Petrovic was one of those guys.
Oh, he had it for sure. My number 2, Marc Gasol. And
I like that.
I debated on putting him at number 1, but he said that he patterned a lot of his game after Sabonis. And so I felt like it was